Organic multiple choice. We're looking at 100 questions tonight. Which of the following can be directly prepared from ethanol? Ethanol can be prepared by the hydration of alkene, so one, and via fermentation, and it also can be made from hydrolysis of ester. So 4 is an ester, so we select 1 and 4. The answer is B. Which of the following compounds can decolorize potassium permanganate? The two organic compounds that react with potassium permanganate are alcohol and alkene. So A is an alkene, so we select A as our response. Which of the following substance can react with an alkane? Alkanes undergo 3 reactions: cracking, reaction with oxygen, and halogenation. We are seeing a halogen here, so the answer is B. Which of the following features is not true of all homologous series? So all members of a homologous series have same functional group, same general formula, similar chemical properties. So the answer would be dog. When an hydrocarbon molecule is cracked, so alkanes can crack to produce alkanes and alkenes. So our answer would be 1 and 2. 1 and 2 is in option A. Which of the following structures represents a molecule of but2ene? But means we have 4 carbon. 2 means the double bond is between carbon 2 and 3. So A and B have 4 carbons, but it's in B that the double bond is between carbon 2 and 3. Functional group for carboxyl. Carboxyl is a COOH group where the first oxygen has a double bond on the oxygen, and then we have the OH. So although it looks different from how we normally draw it, this is the bond B. So we'll be familiar with it this way. Doesn't matter the orientation. Once the molecules are linked in the right way and bonded correctly, that's our answer. Which of the following substance is a unsaturated hydrocarbon? Unsaturated hydrocarbons belong to alkene. Alkene, we're seeing an alkene there, which is propene. How many isomers of C4H10? C4H10 have 2 isomers. It have butane, where all the carbons are in a straight line, and it have 2-methyl propane. Which of the following substance is the product of halogenation reaction with methane? So in the halogenation, one hydrogen, we're reacting it with a halogen, right? So whichever halogen we use, the other product will be a hydrogen halide. So the hydrogen halide we're seeing here is hydrogen chloride. So our answer is C. Which two of the following phases phrases correctly describe the compound shown? So we're looking for homologous series. We're seeing the hydroxyl. So the homologous series would be alkene because the functional group is OH. Alcohol, so it cannot be alcohol and alkene at the same time, so 2 is wrong. Alcohols can react with sodium. So our answer is 2 and 3. Alcohols are reactive with acidified potassium dichromate. They are oxidized to form acid. Which of the following molecules can be obtained from cracking? C8H18. So you're looking for small molecules with less than 8 carbons. So we're seeing this and we're seeing this. So our answers are 1 and 2. If I'm going too fast, you may let me know. Am I going too fast?
No, miss.
Tasha, the major natural source of alkane and alkene is petroleum, right? So both petroleum and natural gas are natural sources of alkane and alkene, but the word major makes us pick A as the response. Which of the following statements about compounds in a homologous series are correct? They all exist in the same state. That's not true because as the number of carbon increases, they may change state. They possess only carbons in a straight line. That's not true. They possess the same empirical formula. We had already established that that's not correct. So they differ successively by CH2 group. So the following are raw materials and conditions necessary for fermentation. So raw material, all right, so there's something wrong with all of these, all right? So the raw material are starch or glucose. So this is the definition of fermentation. Fermentation is the process in which carbohydrates are converted to glucose and are acted upon. The glucose is broken down by enzymes in yeast to produce ethanol and carbon dioxide. The pH is going to be pH of below 7. So we're looking at 5.5 to 6.5. And for the temperature, it is anywhere between 25 and 37. So these temperatures that are above room temperatures, those would automatically be out. So I am selecting sucrose and glucose. Reason being is because the yeast would not be a raw material. The yeast would be a catalyst. So I don't know. I think this question is weird, but for right now, at this moment, this is what I'm selecting. And that's why I'm selecting it. Clear?
Yes, miss.
When ethanoic acid and ethanol reacts, this reaction is called esterification, right? So it has a forward and a backward reaction. Forward reaction is called esterification, and the backward reaction would be hydrolysis, where the ethyl ethanoate reacts with water to form ethanoic acid and ethanol, right? You may see this in another question, I'm not sure. So I just wanted to make this known that the process for this reaction when ethanoic acid reacts is called esterification. The catalyst that we use is concentrated sulfuric acid. It is a known dehydrating agent. So no want to remove water in chemistry. One of the drying agents we can use is concentrated sulfuric acid. Can't use all the time, but it's one of the go-to ones. Ethanol can be converted to ethanoic acid. Now you need to understand that this reaction is called oxidation. In oxidation, we boil the ethanol in an oxidizing agent. The oxidizing agents that we use are acidified potassium manganate, right? Which during this reaction, it will turn from purple to colorless, or we can use acidified potassium dichromate, where we're moving from orange to green. Reagent X would be, which one of them are we using? But just tell me answer.
Sí, miss.
I don't know, I don't want to hear, I don't know, I don't need the answer. Polyamide is formed by condensation reaction between a molecule. So we have two types of polyamide. We can have the monomer unit are the amino acid. This is how the amino acid look. We have a NH2 group, something in the middle, not my concern. And we have an acid here, polyamide. So this one forms the polyamide protein. Polyamide nylon can be formed from a di NH2 something in the middle, NH2 again. And then we have a diacid. In my experience, it's a popular wrong answer question. Like, I want good question for decide who I get 60 out of 60 or not. So the monomer unit can be an amino acid or it can be, I think this is a diamine and a diacid. What would be the answer?
C, Miss.
Which of the following statements about polymers are true? Polymers are long-chain molecules made by joining together a large number of monomer units. Yes. Or you could have used macromolecule. Condensation polymers are generally made up of one type of monomer. That's not true. Addition polymerization are made up of one type. Addition polymerization involves the breaking of a carbon-carbon double bond in the monomer. So that's correct. So the answer would be 1 and 3. B. Which of the following types of polymer may be derived from compounds like the one below? So remember we just talked about this. Which polymer we said was formed?
Miss A.
So the monomer is the amino acid, so it's a polyamide. More specifically, which polyamide does this monomer unit form? Protein. This diagram is so not clear. So it's asking us which one of these are isomers. Oh no, represents branch alkane. Sorry. So branch alkane meaning when we are counting the carbons, we do not lift our fingers when we are counting them. So these are 1, 2, 3. To count the fourth one, I would have to lift my finger. So this is branch. To count all of these, I don't lift my finger and branch. To count all of these, I did not lift my finger and branch. To count these, I didn't need to lift my finger, but to count this carbon, I need to lift my finger. So 1 and 4 are branched. Clear?
Yes, miss.
Items 59 refers to the following structures. SCM structure. Oh, that's the picture. Which of the following would be expected to form an addition polymerization? So earlier we just said that the monomer unit must contain a carbon double bond. Which one of these contain a carbon double bond?
Miss A.
A, miss.
A. Ethanol is not used. So we know we drink alcohol in wine, so it's used as a beverage. We know we have ethane gasoline, where we mix ethanol with fluid, with gasoline to get fuel. So yes, it's not used as a lubricant. We use it as a solvent. So the answer is C. Which are the following as the amide linkage? So we said there are two types of polyamide. What we said the name was? Protein and nylon. So the answer would be boy. Terylene is an example of a polyester. In this reaction, we look at the homologous series. This is an alkane. The alkane reacts with chlorine. When it does that, one of the H, this H is replaced by a chlorine. So we call it a substitution reaction. The hydrogen that left went to form bond with the other to get HCl. So this reaction, what do we call this reaction?
The substitution.
Yeast may be used in the fermentation of starch to ethanol because it contains enzyme which acts on starch. Which of the following is our condensation? So we said terylene was an example of
It's a ester, polyester.
a polyester. Does polyester we form it via condensation, polymerization?
No, miss.
Yes, polyester is a condensation reaction. We use a diacid and a dialcohol and we take out the water K to get the polyester. So that's terylene is condensation, polymerization. Nylon is a polyamide. Is that condensation?
Yes, miss.
Starch is a polysaccharide. Is that condensation?
Yes, miss.
Polyethylene is addition. So my answer is cat. Clear?
Yes, miss.
Yes, miss.
Shall the following substance give a blue coloration with iodine? That's a starch test. Items 57 refers to the following diagram of apparatus. Diagram of an experiment. So we have a water bath, which is 37 degrees Celsius. We have a glucose solution with yeast. When glucose reacts with yeast, it produces ethanol and carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is going to come down here. So what's liquid X? Use the test to identify the gas. Produces best identify if liquid X is. What liquid do we use for carbon dioxide?
Lime.
Calcium
Lime
hydroxide
water.
or lime water. We have ethanoic acid going to form ethyl ethanoate. In that case, we have to react it with ethanol. Ethyl ethanoate can form ethanol using hydrolysis of hydrolysis of this ester, whether alkaline or acid hydrolysis will give us ethanol. Ethanol can be converted to ethanoic acid via the use of telling you this already. It's the third time we're going to talk about it. Ethanol can form ethanoic acid using which compound? Oxidizing agents, which are
Potassium permanganate and dichromate.
All right, so the correct answer for this is C. Reason why C is the answer is because of this arrow right here. So the conversion of two ethyl ethanol is heated under reflux with another compound. The name of the compound is, so remember it's hydrolysis is the reaction. We can have alkaline hydrolysis or acid hydrolysis. So we're looking for an acid or we're looking for an alkaline. Which one are we seeing there? And what's the answer?
It's sodium hydroxide.
The compound propene reacts with bromine to produce. So in a addition reaction, so when bromine reacts with an alkene, the reaction is an addition reaction. In an addition reaction, this carbon double bond breaks, and when it breaks, we add bromine to each carbon that were in the double bond. So bromine will be added here, and one will be added right here. So the answer is
Miss,
dog. Look here, why you not send our link?
Miss, I did.
Yeah. RCOOH and NaOH produces RCONA and water. Which of the following processes correctly describe the reaction above? So this is an acid, this is an alkali. So when acid reacts with an alkali, it's called a neutralization. A compound has the following structural formula. So we're seeing hydroxy here. Same question like we did earlier. The only difference is they turned a little different and they draw the hydroxy bond. What's the answer for this one? We do it already.
Miss 1 and 3.
Which of the following equation represents a condensation reaction? In a condensation reaction, water is removed. C6H12O6 is, so we have water in two of these, right? But in this reaction, we just classify this reaction to be a neutralization reaction. So this is the answer, and this is addition. This is condensation polymerization, where we start off with glucose and we produce the polysaccharide. Which of the following can be produced in one step from ethanol? So ethanol can produce alkene via dehydration. Ethanol cannot do this. We not do this already. What answer?
Yes, miss. A 1 and a 4. This is a
1 and 4. 1 and 4 is at C. Compounds in a homologous series that I repeat. Here we have ethene. Ethene forms polyethene via addition polymerization. Ethene reacts with bromine to form 1,2-bromoethane. That's called addition reaction. And ethene reacts with water and concentrated sulfuric acid to form ethanol. So it says product one is ethanol. The product polyethylene is a polymer. Glucose is converted to starch or cellulose via
C.
average.
Method and average.
I don't know. I'm take out if you buy me take it out. Which of the following processes best describe the chain? So we have a polysaccharide going to form a disaccharide, going back to a monosaccharide. So when we're going from glucose to form the polysaccharide, it was a condensation reaction where we remove water. Now to do the opposite, we need to add back water. And when we add water, that's called hydrolysis. A compound was formed to have a molecular formula C4H6. Which of the following is not an isomer of this compound? So we have C4H6. So we're looking for 4 carbon, 6 hydrogen. So we count 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm seeing 6 hydrogen. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm seeing 6 hydrogen. 1, 2, 3, 4, but the number of hydrogen is 8. So the correct answer is C. Shall the following substance with N-octane react? Any alkane going to react with a halogen, only halogen there is chlorine. The following represents a portion of nylon molecule polyamide. X and Y represent the monomer minus the functional group and represents the link, and the line dash represents the linkage. The linkage could be best represented, so the amide linkage is, so in the amide linkage, yes baby, mama. So in the molecule, right, let's imagine that these things were side by side. Let's imagine that this N and this H right here, this one on the left here, and these are side by side. To form the molecule, we're going to go ahead and remove one H to form the water. To remove the water, we're going to remove this H and we're going to remove the OH. So the monomer units are going to be linked with NHC double bond O. So to answer the question, we're looking for NHC double bond O. So the answer is that. Polymer formed by addition, polymerization reacts. A polymer formed by addition reaction has the following structure. The formula of the monomer. So we look for what is repeating. This is the repeating unit. This is what we keep repeating. So the monomer was this. But in addition polymerization, carbons in the monomer unit must have a carbon double bond. So we're looking for CHX double bond CH2. So we're not seeing that. We're seeing this molecule flip. CH2, CHX. So the answer is this. Same molecule. Clear?
Yes, miss.
Yes,
miss.
Which of the following is our condensation, polymerization? We do this already. Be sure me edit this now. I choose so shy. Oh, me still have so much repeat. Something wrong. Methanol, ethanol, propanol. I don't know what this is above pay grade. Which two alcohol have identical masses? So let's go. It's gonna be this. Let me say above pay grade. 1, 2, 3 carbons. This have 1, 2, 3 carbons. Oh, these are 2 propanol. So one with identical mass would be 3 and 4, and that's propanol. So one is propan 1-al, or 1 propanol and 2 and 4. This is propanol or propan 1-al. This is 2 propanol or propan 2-al. The hydroxide is on the second carbon. Which alcohol contains the same number of carbon as the methane? Meth means 1. The one with 1 carbon is A. Items 46 to 48 refers to the following organic compound: ethanol, ethene, ethanoic acid, ethyl, ethanoate. Which organic compounds undergo addition reaction? We're looking for the alkene. That's B. Immiscible in water and sweet smelling. Once I said that, you're looking at an ester. D is the ester. The compound ethene is described as being unsaturated. This means that the unsaturated mean we have a carbon-carbon double bond.
What's D?
Dog. Which of the following is not true of all homologous series of a compound? All members of the series have. This I repeat. So what's the answer?
What's D?
D. A.
The process by which large molecules are broken into smaller molecules are called.
B, Miss Cookie.
Minus.
Fermentation of sugar using glucose as a substrate can be represented by the equation.
Miss B.
This is my document. Which compound is not considered a polymer? Amino acid is not considered a polymer. Ethanol can react with concentrated sulfuric acid to produce ethene. This reaction is referred to as dehydration. Is not a specific paper we're doing. We're just doing a collection of organic questions. Which of the following compound is not a member of the alkene? Then an alkene, the number of hydrogen is double the number of carbon. So in A, number of hydrogen doubles the number of carbon.
Minus.
Let's see.
So
Baby.
the case, except C. Andrea, you come from Barbados.
Yes, miss.
Octane is a major component of gasoline. The major component of gasoline is an alkane with 8 carbons per molecule. Which of the following is true? So C8, 2 times 8, 16 plus 2.
Miss D.
D. Miss Dog.
A compound ethene is described as being unsaturated. I'm just so upset that I went through these things. Product 1, ethene with water. Once we have ethene and water, that's a hydration reaction. Hydration reaction forms alkanol. So it would be ethanol. Ethanol may be used as a fuel because it has
A, miss.
High heat of combustion. So when it burns, it gives us a large amount of energy. I'm just so disappointed. This is an alkene. Alkene reacts with bromine. The double bond will break. Wherever the double bond breaks, we're going to add so wherever the double bond breaks, we're going to convert this double bond into a single bond. I'm going to add bromine to each members of carbon. So bromine should be on carbon 2 and 3. So the answer is dog. Which of the following may be true of alkanes and alkenes? Both burn in air to give carbon dioxide and water vapor. Alkane undergoes substitution, while alkene undergo addition. Alkanes are saturated, alkenes are unsaturated, so it's dog. With which of the following does ethene show addition reaction? So we have ethene, addition. Everything except oxygen. So all the reactions of alkenes are said to be addition because the double bond breaks and you're adding atoms across the double bond. So we said that terylene is an example of
A polyester.
nylon is an example of a
Polyamide.
fat is an example of a ester. Protein is an example of a
Polyamide.
which of the following compounds are synthetic, not natural? 1 and 2. Ester linkage is in polyester and the fat. So what's the answer? 1 and 3, boy. Clear?
Yes.
Which of the following types of polymer may be derived from the monomer of the type shown below? Which one? Why not scream answer?
Miss, would that be a polyamide?
Polyamide, yes. Which of the following substance is a polysaccharide? Which one of these is a carbohydrate? Apple.
Large miss.
Which hydrocarbon? Methane, ethane, propane, butane. Which hydrocarbon is a major constituent of natural gas?
It's methane.
Source of hydrogen in the Haber process? That's not on the syllabus anymore. Items 40 refers to two compound. These have 1, 2, 3, 4 carbon, double bond between carbon 2 and 3. So this is butene. These have 1, 2, 3, 4 carbons, double bond between carbon 1. So that butanene, butene. So these are isomers. Which are the following of these are the same for these compounds? They have the same molecular formula. They will both have the same empirical formula, Both of them are C4H8. Both of them empirical formula would be CH2. And they have the same functional group, which is the carbon-carbon double bond. So the answer is dog. The residue of fractional distillation in petroleum is called butane.
Butane.
All members of a homologous series have similar
Chemical.
C.
compounds 1 and 2 are known as
A.
Miss B.
isomers, same molecular formula, different structural formula. Which of the following is used in breathalyzer test to detect the presence of alcohol? Would it be dichromate? That's the only thing there that will react with an alcohol. That reaction is called oxidation. Which equation best represents the balance equation for the reaction between ethanoic acid and magnesium? Now, magnesium ion is 2 plus. So ethanoate ion is 1 minus. So we're going to need 2 of them. So where we're seeing 2 of the ethanoate ion is B and D, which is the correct one, B or D.
Miss B.
During the manufacture of ethanol, by fermentation, the gas evolve. Carbon dioxide, it turns lime water milky. When ethene reacts with steam, ethene is
B.
B, Miss.
converted to ethanol. What's the reaction called again? The reaction called again. So the following names refers to the product formed in the reaction. So we have 3 monomer units. That's clear?
Yes, Miss.
So because we have 3 monomer units, we would form a trimer. 50 or more, we get the polymer. 2 of them, we get a dimer. Nylon is a macromolecule which is held together by the same linkage as protein molecule. What's the name given to this type of linkage?
D.
Amen. Bond. Ethene, ethane. 1, 2, 3, 4. Butanoic acid. 1 butanol. Match each item below with one option above. Alcohol. Which one is the alcohol? The one with just the
Miss
OH.
E.
D, Miss.
Dog. Alkane.
Miss B.
Isomerism is a property shown by compounds possessing
Miss A.
Miss A.
what?
D.
Miss
Miss.
D.
Isomers have the same molecular formula, different structural formula. Different structure, same molecular formula. Which of the following compound is not a member of the alkane series? We do that already. We do this already. So the following reaction correctly represents dehydration of ethanol. Ethanol is dehydrated to form alkene. So it would form ethene. What's the answer?
Miss C.
Which of the following represents unsaturated hydrocarbon?
Miss B.
A is not the answer because this is not hydrogen. What's the catalyst? We do this already. What's the catalyst?
D.
Can't find a real document. Why? I edited. Sasha was kind enough to let me know all of what I did wrong and I fixed it. I had some more questions. C4H10. We're looking for isomers of C4H10. What would it be? So we have 4 carbon in a straight line.
Mitch.
3 and then 1 on the middle. So 1 and 2 are isomers. 3 and 2 are isomers. 3 and 4 are isomers. 4 and 1 are isomers. What's the correct combination?
Miss A.
Yes, ma'am. Last question. Which of the following compounds is dehydrated by concentrated sulfuric acid to produce a gas which decolorizes bromine? Which one of them undergo dehydration? A, B,
Miss
C, D.
A.
Miss A.
Alright, so for those who came in late, we are going to be doing a protein excess hydrolyzed by dilute acid. The best method on separating and identify the products. So if you hydrate a protein, you're going to get amino acid. Amino acids are best separated and identified using chromatography. So those who came in late, we are doing a test. After we did the organic question, we said